To me, what are you doing for all this? And I said, I can't make a lot of change in a company with 6,000 people. So I get online and go out and talk about the way it should be. And that makes, that makes them and start to get effect. So I think culture can be done internally, or we actually could go outside and bang on the front door of the office.
Yeah.
You're very bloody doing that too, of course. Pounding on the doors. It depends on the organisation as to whether they're A, interested in listening, and B, even listening, because in a lot of organisations they're not on Twitter. They don't give a monkeys what you say on Twitter because they're not even there.
You'd be amazed how. What I'm shocked is how many people are on social media, but they're not what you would consider on social media. They're just listening, almost like surveillance mode. Mm-hmm. And that's, I don't think that, I don't know if that constitutes on social media, but they are.
So sometimes though, Rob, the door is shut. Okay, and the door is shut for reasons of agenda, and for people who have padded their own nest, or for people who have been
just the culture of the organisation.
Absolutely, and how do you change that culture? How do you change that?
What Chris is actually suggesting, though, with the social media thing, is you're doing a bottom-up culture change.
It's guerrilla change.
And if you're showing people a vision and a culture through something like social media,
which you have to agree with, but in order for that pyramid to be inverted, the very people who are going to invert it have to support that. And they're the very people
turning it sideways. Not invert it. I think he understands what I'm saying. I'm saying go outside. Don't invert the pyramid.
All right.
It's guerrilla culture.
It's completely guerrilla.
You think about
hacker culture.
Countries and culture. When something goes viral on the internet now, we've seen in the UK government policy. Government policy can change like that. Mrs. Thatcher would be turning in a grave at the number of U-turns that the Conservatives have made in the UK. It's
spoken like a true scale seller.
Absolutely, absolutely incredible. Because social media, it's gone viral. And
but the thing we get really upset about social media and somebody doing something bad. I can tell you right now that nothing lasts more than a few hours, and no one will remember it more than a few days. Rob's had some really, salacious blogs over the years that nobody remembers anymore.
Salacious.
Are they any less salacious? No. And I'm just saying, you could go on Twitter and be pretty bad, and I know you're saying you have a very volatile government, but why it's volatile is because every morning these MPs wake up and they're reset as if yesterday never happened. They're not volatile, they're empty-headed.
It's a very interesting perspective.
But what does come back to, though, is this idea of customers and people like us.
Yeah.
And we have sometimes a very inflated idea of what the business is like. We believe the rest of the business is running perfectly smoothly. And somebody said earlier today, somewhere in the UK, there's an HR conference going on today, and people in HR sat around having a conversation about how do we get our services out to the business?
They are.
How do we make the business happy?
Yeah.
Isn't the right too crap? What we need is a framework.